This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin tonight with breaking news. We're now learning more about the shots fired incident that took place in downtown Fargo last Thursday. It started around 2 in the morning at the Fort Knox bar. Witnesses say that the man charged, Abshir Hussain, got into an argument with the man. He left before officers arrived. And a few moments later, reports are that there were shots coming in that area of the 300 block of Robert Street North. A woman said she was walking when a man in a light-colored sedan pulled up next to her and started talking. She told him to get lost when the man pulled out a gun and started shooting in the air. Hussain was later identified through surveillance video, and someone called police when they spotted his vehicle after a picture of it was being shared. Now, Hussain was arrested for aggravated reckless endangerment, but he could face other charges as well. Fireworks are now on sale across the Red River Valley, and the concern more so this year is how many fires will be started because of the drought conditions. Valley News Team's J.C. Dodd looked into what the dry spell could mean for those looking to light up the sky this Independence Day.
Your fireworks are an ignition source.
The 4th of July is quickly approaching, and with little rain over the past few weeks, we could be headed for a fiery 4th. Adding to the threat would be troublesome wind.
Drought, weather conditions day to day can affect that, because even just the dry air and wind can help fires start and then allow them to grow more quickly.
And owner of Star Fireworks, Johnny Starr, knows the dangers these weather conditions pose to his customers.
When it's dry like this, you got to be extra careful, and you should always have water on hand or a hose out there when you're lighting, just to be on the safe side. And hopefully we do get some more rain this week.
Fargo's fire marshal also says it's best to hose down your yard, deck, and anything in proximity to where you will be using fireworks, just in case something does go wrong. Although many types of fireworks are against state law in Minnesota, Clay County Sheriff says it's hard to take precautions right now.
What needs to happen is everybody needs to be mindful of our current drought and to be very cautious when you're out there lighting fireworks, and again, follow the state law as it pertains to the fireworks.
And Erickson says wherever you live,
the best way to view them is to go see a professional show. That's the safest way.
In Fargo, J.C. Dodd, Valley News Live.
Now you can find the local restrictions and information about fireworks on our website. Go to valleynewslive.com. Minnesota authorities are bracing for an extended wildfire season, saying the typical summer reprieve is looking more and more unlikely. More than half of the state is experiencing drought conditions, and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration expects dry weather to continue through the summer. More wildfires had already broken out across the state by mid-June than in all of last year. For example, this grass fire ignited in Polk County back in March, scorching 13 to 15,000 acres. After getting a couple of tenths of an inch in my rain gauge this morning, I've only noticed a few droplets on the windshield throughout the day. Let's find out from Hutch what we might expect tonight. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. As we look on that sky cam from Luther Family Ford to the north, we do see a shower. See how you can see the backlit part underneath the base of the cloud. No rain there, but here is a rain shaft that's just north of the metro area. It's moving southward, so particularly our northern communities may see a chance at that. Hit and miss, really, most of us staying dry this evening. And showers extend from Lake of the Woods down into the Cheyenne River Valley, where we've had nearly stationary storms here for Sargent and Ransom counties out into Dickey and Lemoore County. Here's the activity that's pushing in to the FM area. Most of us are going to stay dry, but a few neighborhoods may indeed see some rain. As we take a look into northwest Minnesota from Roseau County right through the Pennington County and Red Lake County areas, we're seeing some spotty showers. Those will continue this evening, and if there's showers, you'll cool down briefly into the upper 60s. 64 right now in Oaks, the warm spot, Grand Forks and in the Northern Valley, where we have 80s. Temperatures in the 70s. Our cloud cover continues. Rain showers and thunderstorms continue, hit and miss until around sunset. Then things quiet down. We have much warmer weather to talk about as, Mike, you get set for your 4th of July celebrations. I'll have details on what you can expect here in just a few moments.
All right, look forward to that. Thanks, Hutch. We now know what caused a fire at an apartment complex earlier this month. It happened on June 14th at 3325 17th Avenue South in Fargo. 2 decks, as you can see, were engulfed in flames. Investigators now say that the cause was improperly discarded smoking materials. That fire damage wound up to be about $365,000. Police are now searching for a man who may be linked to a shooting in Grand Forks. Authorities are now looking for 24-year-old Christopher Lane. We're told that they plan to charge him with attempted murder, motor vehicle theft, and reckless endangerment. The shooting happened Saturday at the Quality Inn. If you have any information on where Lane may be, call authorities. The trial starts tomorrow for a man accused of killing Grand Forks police officer Cody Holte. Solomon Pendleton is charged with 2 murders, his own mother and Holte, who were killed during a shootout with officers attempting to serve an eviction notice. That trial is expected to last until mid-July. If convicted, Pendleton could face life in prison. A woman has pleaded guilty to stabbing her boyfriend in the groin last spring. 33-year-old Terrence Stately was originally charged with 1 count of murder, but her plea was reduced the charge to felony manslaughter. On May 30th of a year ago, authorities went to the 1600 block of 33rd Avenue South, and they found 27-year-old Keenan Poitra bleeding heavily in an apartment hallway. Stately faces up to 10 years in prison, and she will be sentenced on October 3rd. Charges are expected for 6 men in the coming days after a human trafficking sting in Beltrami County. During the operation, suspects responded to an online ad and were arrested as they arrived at an arranged meeting place for sex. 6 men were booked on probable cause solicitation of prostitution of an adult. 2 of them were from Bemidji, 1 from Park Rapids, and the others were from out of state. A Fargo family is searching for answers and asking you for help identifying the man they say smashed up their Corvette over the weekend. It happened in the 700 block of 17th Street South. The family says the uptick in crime is to blame.
Unfortunately, this is turning into typical behavior within our neighborhood.
We'll also explain how you can help them. That story is coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6. The official death toll in Florida has climbed now to double digits as the search through rubble of the condo that collapsed continues. 150 people are still missing as the delicate and dangerous search is going on right now. Reporter Jay Gray has more on the effort there and the families who are waiting for any information.
It's day 5 now, and the horror, the heartache continues in Surfside.
We're hoping and praying for a miracle, and we are holding on to hope because we really want to be reunited with my mom.
Stunned families struggling as the number of those killed slowly climbs. There's been no survivors pulled from the rubble since the first night. Still, officials insist their mission hasn't changed.
Right now, our top priority is search and rescue and find the people.
And while the situation is dire, first responders say there are still reasons to be hopeful here.
There's certain areas that we have not gotten to, but we've been able to place cameras that seem to have large enough spaces, voids, that occupants may still be in there.
And so they continue pushing deeper into the wreckage. Many of the areas so unstable, teams collect small pieces of the crumbled mortar and twisted metal by hand. Their dedication and effort unwavering.
They only have one way of doing business, and that is a focus on savings of lives. It's what motivates them. It's their fuel.
Fuel that allows them to power through a task that is overwhelming, forging a bond between those searching and those waiting.
It's very emotional. This whole process has been emotional. And that's why I call it family member, because what we've gone through here, I think we're all family now.
A family suffering, but refusing to give up.
Teams are using every available resource during their search, including dogs, remote cameras, and sonar. But they stress it's a very slow, very deliberate process. Meanwhile, 6 people are recovering in the hospital after a deck collapse in the Washington, D.C. area. First responders say that the deck that was likely overcrowded when it collapsed last night when there was a group of people and a grill on top at the time. In addition to the 6 people that were taken to the hospital, 9 others were evaluated at the scene, all with injuries that were said to be non-life-threatening. Moorhead Public Service is warning customers of a phone scam. Suspicious phone calls are being reported and automated messages are threatening them if they don't pay up. MPS uses automated messages for its collection process and contacts customers with past due balances over the phone. However, they will not demand direct payment over the phone and will never use threatening tactics to obtain payment. If you receive a suspicious call from someone claiming to be from Moorhead Public Services, hang up and call them on the number on your screen. Minnesota lawmakers have reached a deal to avoid a partial government shutdown with just days to spare. The agreement includes some police reforms. Among them, an agreement to regulate the use of no-knock warrants and to modify the post-board police misconduct database to create an early warning system to keep bad officers off the streets. Today, groups who have pushed for police accountability reinforce just that, saying the deal as written does not meet the moment. Small business owners in Langdon, North Dakota are upset about a proposed city ordinance that they say could cost them their livelihoods. The ordinance changes how utility bills are doled out between tenants in the same building. Look for more on this story tonight on Valley News Live and on Valley News Live at 10. Later on Valley News Live at 5, U.S. missiles strike Iranian-backed militia. Is this the beginning of something more?
Over the last week, some rain has fallen across the valley where you see the yellows and oranges, 1 to 3 inches in the Devil's Lake Basin down towards Bismarck where it's badly needed. We have a dry forecast, in fact, a warmer forecast ahead. I'll spell out the details. Coming up, join me. Weather is next.